Welcome to CITAM ChurchOnline. This is Pastor Karita Mbagara, the senior pastor of CITAM Karen. Today I want us to talk from the book of Zechariah chapter 2, where we find that God has the intention to bless his people in an immeasurable way. In verses 1 to 5, we find that God says, Jerusalem will be boundless. There will be no limits. God is saying, I am going to restore my people to their fortunes, and there will be so much that there will be no need for walls in Jerusalem. Because if we put walls, they will not be able to contain the people that will come, the animals that will come, the wealth that will come to Jerusalem. And we see that God's intention for his people is abundant blessing. And I want to tell you, in 2019, God intends to bless you abundantly. But he also, in verse 6 through to 7, makes a demand. He tells the people that he is going to bless. You must leave the land of captivity. He tells them, leave Babylon and come to Jerusalem, where I am. Babylon was representative of the city of man, and Jerusalem is the city of God. And the words that are used are this: come, come out of the land of Babylon. God is telling them to come. When somebody tells you to come, he is inviting you to where he is. And I want to say that God is telling us to come to him. He is not directing us go, because you can tell somebody to go, but where you're telling him to go is not where he is. So God's intention of blessing his people demands that we be at the place where God is. We are to come to him, and then he will make his blessing available to us. When we go on reading the chapter, we find that he tells them that I have this promise for you. I have this that I want to assure you of. So he gives them the assurance that you are precious in my sight. It is in verse 7 of Zechariah chapter 2 and verse 6 that he communicates this by telling them, verse 8 and 9, he tells them that you are dear to me. You are special. He actually says, anybody that touches you touches the apple of my eye, in verse 8. And you just try to touch your own apple of the eye, the middle of your eye. You can't do it, because every time you get near, the eye is made in such a way it closes. And what God is telling his people, you're so precious that I will protect you like the eye is protected. The apple of the eye is protected by the eyelids. But this time it is by God. But not only that, he continues to tell them, I will be against those who are against you. He even says that those that made you slaves, I will make you to plunder them. So God is against those who are against us, those who are against his people. This is what he is assuring us of, that we are precious in his sight. And I want to tell you, in 2019, God is telling you, if you have come to him, if you are living in his will, then you're precious, you're special, and he wants to do great and wonderful things for you. But he also tells us that he will dwell among us. That's what continues to be said in verses 10 to 12, that he will dwell among us. He is not going to be at a distance. He is going to be present to be our help. He is going to make sure that things work for us. So God's intention, bless you abundantly. But he has a demand. Come to him, and then he assures you that I will dwell among you. And then he closes the chapter by saying, I want you to live confidently. He says, be still and know that I am in charge. Don't be fast. Don't be, don't be moved by the things that are happening. I am in charge. I am the one that rules. I am the one who controls everything. I want you to be a confident person, an assured person. And that is God's desire for you in 2019. Will you take his word? Will you believe it? I believe it for myself. I believe God is going to bless me. God is going to increase me because I have come to him. And if you have come to him, you are joining me. I want you to have the same faith, because that's God's plan for you. Let me hear what you think about what I have said. There are social platforms listed below. You can contact me through them, and I will be glad to respond to any queries that you make. You can also comment in way of saying how this has been a blessing to you. God bless you.